Welcome to Focus Washington. I'm Chuck and Coney. I have a really special guest today, Samantha Sault, who is, it says here, you're the deputy online editor of the Weekly Standard, but you're mostly the fashion consultant and columnist, and that interests me most.
I guess I've become the impromptu fashion columnist at the Weekly Standard. I was just at Fashion Week in New York in February. So, yeah, I also write a blog about bringing runway styles to Washington and how Washingtonians can dress a little bit better.
Oh, that's something Washingtonians need to hear about. What I want to talk to you about, and thank you for coming on to the show, is Michelle Obama. I mean, she is now the person everybody is interested in. Is she really going to have that much impact?
You know, I hope so. Really, she doesn't wear anything that's that outrageous and revolutionary. There's this whole controversy about her showing her arms, but that's really nothing new. What she does is she dresses well for her shape. She wears flattering, bright colors, which is something that, as we were discussing before, Washington men in particular often look like they're dressed for a funeral at all times. And she knows how to utilize color and shape for her body. And she also recognizes that quality is better than quantity. We've seen her in some of the same outfits. For instance, the Jimmy Choo shoes that she wore on Inauguration Day, she's worn a couple times since then.
How can she possibly have done that?
I don't know. So she really, you know, her use of color and shape and choosing quality items rather than a bunch of junk is really some advice that Washingtonians could use.
She's not really spending a great deal of money on clothes. In other words, oftentimes I think when the only other person who was really good for American designers was Nancy Reagan. But a lot of times she was criticized because she was wearing such expensive designer clothes.
Michelle knows how to mix high and low. She's been seen in lots of J. Crew, which is a mid-level, high quality but still affordable store for the average. Yeah, hardly designer, but still very stylish and nice clean cut clothing. But she mixes it with her Jason Wu and Thakun and Narciso Rodriguez. So that's something else that Washingtonians can take advice from. You don't have to dress from just all one store. You can mix and match.
But she wears only American designers, basically.
She has been seen in a few European designers, but mostly American designers. She's very supportive of young, less well-known designers. Jason Wu is one example, 26-year-old designer from New York City, very much not well-known before the Inauguration Day when she wore his inaugural gown, and now suddenly his show is one of the most popular ones at Fashion Week, and he's becoming quite a star. So I think that's a good thing for the fashion industry.
Well, she's made just about every cover. I know you've got the New Yorker here, the recent
Here she is on the cover of the New Yorker. There she is on the cover.
I mean, she's everywhere. Of course, her arms are covered here, you've noticed.
I know.
What is your feeling about this controversy of her? I noticed your arms are fairly bare.
Yes, my arms are bare as well. You know, I just think it's kind of silly. I don't consider arms as something that are really needing to be covered up. What century is this? But also, I mean, she looks good. She wears what she wants to wear. She dresses with confidence, and she's physically fit. And I think that women could learn from that.
Well, it's not akin, of course, to a mini skirt, of course.
Right. Mini skirt. She's never been seen in cleavage, hanging out everywhere.
Do you think that's just the kind of conservatism of Washington, where a bunch of old men here in dark suits go, oh my God, look, she has bare arms. It's almost like an ankle showing in the 19th century.
It's crazy. I think that Washingtonians are just reluctant to take fashion risks, and they automatically assume that if you are taking a fashion risk, showing your arms, for instance, you can't be a serious person, which I think is completely false.
And so you think she's good for the country?
I think that her
fashion-wise, particularly.
Yes. As I said, she dresses up, I think, appropriately. She uses colors and shapes that look good on her body, and she's supporting American designers.
And she's going to be seen out a lot more, right?
Yes.
And that helps the fashion industry.
She seems to be the #1 person you want at your Washington social event. So hopefully we'll get to see many more Michelle Obama style
Samantha,
designs.
thank you. Thank you for being here.
And
we'll talk more about how Washingtonians dress, and maybe we'll have some questions about the best of and the worst of. This is Chuck and Coney, and this has been Focus Washington.